including all the people. Not sure how the hell that happened, given the explanation we're going to get, but still. Anyway, he looks outside to see his entire nation has become the other world from Silent Hill's Shattered Memories.
Kind of weather wouldn't even phase the Midwest.
Meanwhile, they've got a lot in this comic, aren't I? Professor Xavier collapses at the School for the Gifted. Not sure why they're not flooded, considering how fast this thing is moving. Though then again, I know nothing about geography, so this could be miles away. He says he knows exactly what's happened, and he sends out a psychic call to, oh, bull crap! It's a 2-page spread that I have to turn on its side, but this is the worst offender I've ever seen. It's not even a full-body shot of the professor. It's his head. The panels featuring all the other heroes' heads are absolutely tiny. I can fit all this on one page, no problem. This is just so damn lazy, I can't even begin to believe it. I don't care if people think I'm whiny about this pet peeve or not. This is atrociously wasteful when you could have put in character development or anything on this extra page. Anyway, Xavier says he knows who's responsible and that despite any past differences they've had, they need to join forces, otherwise he'll kill them all. And so our comic ends with the reveal of the one responsible, Magneto! Oh, also, he's still in possession of Thor's hammer from Ultimate 3, but I call bullcrap on that. Even if the hammer was made from a metal that's magnetic or can be magnetized, I think mystical enchantments about who is actually worthy of lifting the thing would take precedence. Then again, I'm a nerd who thinks about these things, so what do I know? Next, it gets worse. I certainly hope so. People have billed this as being as bad as Countdown. The first issue wasn't all that great, but the situation was set up and it actually feels like something big just went down. On to the second issue. This one begins with the tidal wave over and Spider-Man trying to rescue someone from under a car. Naturally, since even Spidey needs some levity in order to not be crushed by the horror of this all, he's doing some joking. Why does all the really scary stuff have to happen at night? I mean, it's not bad enough that half this city is underwater one second, and then the next second it's not. Or all of this death and destruction caused by the world's biggest dirtbag, Magneto. Please stop talking and help me. Jeez, even in the Ultimate Universe, civilians are assholes. Also in the area are several individuals who are using Hank Pym's growth technology from the previous Ultimate book. They don't hear Spidey calling for help, but fortunately the Hulk is nearby. Hulk help Spider-Man! Then Hulk smash Spider-Man! It's kind of funny like that. Because of the Triskelion, the headquarters for S.H.I.E.L.D. in the Ultimate Universe, where Iron Man is bursting in carrying Captain America. Wait a second, he was fine in the last issue. Why is he... Oh, son of a... Is this one of those crossover events where important things happen in other books and they never bother to tell us what it was? You know, at least Amazon's Attack had the decency to fill in the blanks. Thanks for leaving out important plot details. Yeah, now it's starting to look like Countdown. So now we meet Ultimate Carol Danvers, and yowza! Okay, 1, why are your hips swayed? 2, even for ridiculous proportions for superheroines, those breasts are ridiculously and unnecessarily huge. I don't get this. If it's fan service, she's wearing a full-body uniform, plus we really don't want to see fan service after millions of people are dead. If it's just that the artist just naturally drew her like that, fine, whatever. But why are her hips swaying? Anyway, she gets a medical unit to help Captain America from being injured by, off-panelitis. Oh, wait, according to Iron Man, he woke up fine in the air and then just collapsed. Oh, goody. So apparently you can be perfectly lucid after almost drowning and then just start dying for no reason. Brilliant. Anyway, Iron Man says he needs to go find some booze, get ready to go after Magneto, but then a base falls under attack. Meanwhile, Hawkeye catches up with Hank Pym, who's still desperately searching for the Wasp. Hawkeye starts climbing up him before Pym grabs him. Hawkeye says he wants to help, saying that even though he doesn't like Pym, he also knows what it's like to lose the woman you love. Wow, legitimate character development and emotions. How nicely contrasted against the horrifyingly awful way in which this subplot will end. Meanwhile, the Thing is beside Sue's bed, talking to her unconscious form, when Sue's power starts going haywire and he's knocked through a wall and almost out of a window. Meanwhile, Reed is speeding along in his boat. I don't care that Charles Xavier appeared in my head and said this was all Magneto's fault. A tidal wave drowned New York City, and you played a role in this, Namor. I know it! Wow, you're kind of a moron, aren't you, Reed? He keeps rambling a bit longer before he's suddenly tractor-beamed up to a ship above him, piloted by Dr. Doom.
Namor had nothing to do with this tidal wave or the icy devastation of every man, woman, and child in Latveria. It was Magneto. He's offset the magnetic poles, creating this ecological nightmare.
Oh boy, kids, I think it's time for science! Now, once again, a lot of my information comes from my Twitter followers, who I presume to be much smarter than I am concerning this scientific stuff. And I don't want this episode to grind to a halt, so let me speed through this explanation as quickly as I can. The Earth's magnetic poles are constantly moving, some saying around 40 kilometers per year, actually. So we know that the poles can shift and, in fact, have likely shifted several times already. The actual effects of a pole shift, however, are negligible. The worst that could potentially happen is the weakening of Earth's magnetic field. But it would return to normal eventually, and one article I read said that even that probably wouldn't hurt that much either. In fact, the only real effects of a sudden pole shift are to reverse compasses and screw up animals that have an internal sense of direction. The tides have nothing to do with the magnetic field. Primarily, they're affected by the gravity of the moon, which Magneto has no power to control. But even if he did have that, tidal waves are not a result of the moon either. Yeah, that one kind of confused me. In fact, tidal waves are a result of plate tectonics and, in particular, earthquakes. Now, some speculated that anything powerful enough to drastically alter the magnetic poles would probably do a number on plate tectonics, but Magneto's powers have always been based only in magnetism and not anything else. But wait, people are asking, this is comic books. Surely suspension of disbelief should kick in for this sort of thing, right? No, damn it! Suspension of disbelief allows me to say, yes, this person has superpowers that allow him to create an ultramagnetic field. It does not allow me to say, that ability makes him magical and he can do whatever the hell he wants with that power, even if it doesn't make any sense. Believe it or not, we do know how magnets work, Insane Clown Posse. If I let this comic get away with this, all it will do is breed ignorance and stupidity and allow people to believe something that is not true. Hell, I freely admit that I'm an idiot when it comes to science, but all I had to do was ask on Twitter, how does this work, and would this idea work this way? And I got pointed in the direction of science articles. It breeds laziness in writers who can simply make up powers and abilities whenever it's convenient for them. But you know what the worst part is? I can fix this right now!
Magneto kidnapped a Latverian scientist who was building me an earthquake machine.
Bam! There you go. It was that easy. Earthquake machines aren't exactly scientifically plausible either, but still more so than magnets affect the tides. Now how the hell did he freeze Latveria anyway? Anyway, in case you actually cared about the comics, trust me, you shouldn't, Dr. Doom says that the man they need is Nick Fury.
Time for backstory!
In another little mini-series, Ultimate Power, Nick Fury, and if you ever wondered why Nick Fury in the movies is played by Samuel L. Jackson, here's your answer, kind of went evil or something, and as punishment they left him stranded in a parallel universe. Oh, and trust me, we'll get the full story there eventually. I'll review Ultimate Power, if only for the artwork of Greg Land, whose style is best known as, how many times can I trace the same image from a porno magazine? As such, this is a follow-up to that. Doom has brought along Zarda, a superheroine from that other universe, who can reopen the portal and get him. Why they need Nick Fury isn't explained. I'm guessing so he can go up to Magneto and yell,
"And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee."
Thor, meanwhile, rides on Valkyrie's Pegasus in search of his love and finds her dead at the base of the Statue of Liberty. However, Thor isn't taking this kind of crap, so he slams his sword into the ground, which makes him travel to Valhalla and